Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to PopeJoeFitz plays Rome Total War. Now Rome Total War, in my personal, humble, tiny, puny opinion, is the greatest strategy game ever made. And I'd just like to point out that I definitely did not try to record a pilot for this series and forget to press the record button again. Let's now move forward and pretend what I just said was true. We're going to go for an imperial campaign, so we're going to build up our empire. And for this campaign, we're going to go with the Brutii. The Brutii actually isn't my favourite campaign in the game. My favourite campaign is actually the Greek campaign. It's very, very similar to the Brutii. The only thing is, you're never really safe from any direction. Like with the Brutii, you've got the other Roman factions to your left, so you're not really afraid of being invaded from the west. And you continue spreading east into Asia Minor, through into like the Middle East and back around into Africa, and then eventually you have to take Rome with both of them. But with the Greek cities, you basically have to worry about the Romans, and the Romans are quite a powerful force. And for this campaign, there's not going to be a battle time limit, so if I'm like seriously outnumbered, I can't just like run around the field over and over again so the enemy can't catch me. So yeah, that's why I turn off battle limits, because if I have an advantage, I will use that advantage, so I'm turning that off.
We Brutii are the only true Romans. We saved Rome. We drove out the kings. We made the Republic. The family deserve respect for that. Respect and obedience. We know what is best for Rome. New lands, living space, territory, slaves. I know what must be done. The Greeks, they look down their perfumed noses at all Romans, and they hate us. I'm going to give them a reason for hate. When I've crushed them, Roman steel, that's the answer. Roman steel in the Brutii fist. And the other great Roman families. The Scipii, trash. They have no respect for proper Roman ways. For us, the Julii prostitute themselves as if the people matter. Bah. We Brutii must lead Rome.
And that was the intro cinematic for the Brutii. That kind of like puts across what kind of people the Brutii are. I think it's in the name as well, seeing as we get the word brute from it. And as soon as we boot into the game, we are assigned a Senate mission, and it's take Apollonia, and we have 10 turns to do it, and if we succeed, we will be greatly rewarded. This is not true. We will get like a group of peasants or something. Now, another thing that I want to point out is that I'm actually playing with the highest unit scale that you can, because it actually adds another gameplay element to the game. Because you see, when you're in a city and you want to recruit any amount of army members, like say I wanted to recruit town militia here, we can see here the population of this town is 4,500. If I try to recruit these guys, how many is in this? There's 160 soldiers in this. If I try to recruit some town watch, there's now 4,340 because it took 160 soldiers away. If you have it on low unit scale, it will only take 20 away because there's only 20 people in the unit. But because you have such a large scale army, you actually have to manage your cities a bit better. So I think it actually adds something to the game. Now, the Senate mission that we were given was to take Apollonia, and we have an army here, and we have a boat that they can get on here. So we're going to move these guys over, and we're going to have them in position to take Apollonia. And not only that, we've also got a diplomat here, and I'm going to send them over to meet with this Scipii diplomat so we can have trade rights. Okay, we already have trade rights with the Scipii. I thought you'd get started without them. And not only these guys, I'm going to move this spy over and this other army as well. Unfortunately, this army couldn't quite make it to the boat, so they're going to have to come over next turn. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the tax rates in all the towns that we own, just to get in a bit more money. And in our capital of Tarentum, I'm going to build a shrine to Mars, because that, I believe later on, it increases how good the recruits that you get in that particular city is. So I'm going to, first things first, get a shrine to Mars. And also roads. Roads are really important, but the AI seems to ignore them a lot. Roads increase the amount of trading that you do. And also I'm going to build a militia barracks in Croton. No, Croton, I was right. And with all that done, we have very little money left off, so we're going to move on to the next turn. Now, like I said, the Brutii have an advantage over the Greek settlement, is they don't get attacked from this direction because you're automatically allied with the other Roman houses. And that also means you get to see everything the other Roman houses see, which is a massive advantage. So if, like, say there's a Julii, which is these red guys here, a Julii army up here, and they see, I think Dacia is up here or something, and they see a Dacian army making their way towards one of my settlements, I will know that they are coming, so I can actually prepare the settlement coming. And taking a look at the end of turn report, we didn't make that much money because we have... Well, hold on, why did we not make that much money? Right, yeah, because construction costs cost a lot of money, and army upkeep as well. And the shrine to Mars has been built in Tarentum. And yes, the next step up in the shrine to Mars is the temple to Mars, and it increases the experience of all troops trained here by 1. Experience, it increases all of a unit's stats by 1. So here we'll take Velites for example. Their melee attack is 5, their missile attack is 7, and their defense is 7. So if these guys had a unit of experience, which they get by winning battles and winning them decisively, or by being trained in a city with a temple to Mars, that would be 6, 8, and 8 as far as I know. I think that's right. Right. So here we can actually afford some mercenary peltasts. I would like some mercenary hoplites, but they cost a lot of money that I just can't afford. Yeah, I'm literally 1 denarii off of affording these hoplites. That's quite annoying. Right, so recruit the peltasts, and they are added to this army's strength. And we're going to move this army across as well. And these armies combine, and now we've got 3 units of cavalry, some infantry, and some ranged attacks. So it should be fairly easy, because this city doesn't even have like walls around it like you can see on Tarentum and Croton. So we're going to attack the city straight away.
Besieging settlement, sir.
And we don't need to build any siege equipment. If the settlement had walls, we'd need to build a ram. If it has like large stone walls, we can build like ladders and siege towers, and you can sap underneath the walls to destroy them. These get you up onto the walls, which you can wall fight in this game, which I find really entertaining. But yeah, we're just going to assault the city. And as you can see, we have a huge advantage in terms of men. Because I think most of this army, yeah, it's 2 units of peltasts and some militia hoplites. This is going to be a fairly easy battle to do.
The omens have been better, but I dismiss those priestly naysayers. They are holy men, not warriors. And a warrior makes his own fate. Over there stand the rebel slaves. They are braver and more worthy than men of their type have any right to be. Those fools have never fought against me before. I hope to give them a nasty surprise. Some of us will soon lie dead. The rest will drink to their memory, but, as always, we Romans will fight with honor!
And another thing that I love about Rome Total War is you got these little speeches beforehand, and they're all personalised to which general that you're playing as and what faction you're playing against, and I just love that about Rome Total War. And this is actually our first chance to look at what battles look like in Rome Total War. So as we can see, yeah, in ancient battles, the attacking force would always line up first. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick down our infantry. We're going to have a line of infantry coming across here. Right, so we're going to have our infantry marked right up this street here. and try to take the point, or not the point, and try to take the town square. The way you win a battle in Rome Total War is you hold this town square by yourself for 3 minutes, or you cause the entire enemy army to rout at the same time. The way you get them to rout is you make them nervous by like killing their generals or overwhelming them, or just like killing them in general. And while these guys are coming up here to take the town square, we're also going to like try flank them from behind with our general's bodyguard. And yeah, we're actually going to stick one of the general's bodyguards. We're going to stick one of the general's bodyguards over here, so we're actually flanking from 2 different directions. Never mind, you can't place over here, you have to place inside the green line. I forgot, I haven't played this game in quite some time. And now that we've got that set up, we're going to press start battle. And I'm going to pause as soon as we get in. And as you can see, they've got... What are they? I think they're just basic peltasts just lined up on the square. Where's the rest of their army? Oh, it's over here. What are they doing over here? Why are there hoplites over here? That's a very strange place to have your hoplites. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to march our entire army right up to the square. Where are they again? Oh, they're there. We're going to march the army up here. We're going to stop at this crossroads because there is a chance that these hoplites are going to realise what we're going to do and come in, and we don't want them to flank our army as they're passing through here, because that could break us up and that won't go very well for us. And I'm going to fast forward through this so that the infantry move at a decent speed. Yeah, the hoplites have figured out what we're doing and are moving back to the town square. Right, so we're going to move right up to the town square, and we're also going to get our cavalry lined up and in position. So now the cavalry is moving that way, and the infantry are moving up the main street. Now, the AI in this game is actually really smart, because as you can see, they're sending the peltas at our infantry, but their hoplites are staying behind. Hoplites are super duper effective against cavalry, and actually they're not sending their hoplites. They're not leaving their hoplites behind. I might be able to get the general and all the horses to rush up the back. This is my aim the whole time. This is my aim the whole time. I want to pin them in position and then get the cavalry to ram them up the arse. That was poor wording on my part. And as we see, the enemy army is already beginning to rout, so it's a very good idea to get the cavalry in now to try to clean the floor with them. The thing is, when you're defending, you've got an advantage, because if any of your army gets back to their town square, they stop routing. Right, so yeah, the horses should be able to take care of these peltas fairly easily, because they're only light infantry. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the horses to come back a bit and then run back in. And if everybody else... No, not the cavalry. Not the cavalry. There we go. Everybody else come up and like push up as best as you can. Right, so I got the cavalry to move back in this direction for a very good reason, because the charge bonus you get with cavalry is absolutely immense. So the best way, in my opinion, is to get the cavalry back and then run them back in, and then get them back and then run them back in. Yeah, these guys are going to wipe these guys off the face of the planet because they're not actually set up.
The enemy general is running away. This is no way for a leader to behave.
Yeah. Now everybody just fall onto the point. This is going to be a floor wipe anyway. We had a huge numbers advantage, and I'm going to speed up because this is the done deal by now. That's the battle one. It was a very quick battle.
They
it
are
was
not
very
soldiers,
easy.
only frightened rabbits running from our men.
We can continue the battle, like in a field battle, like not for a city. You'd want to continue the battle to wipe up any men that were escaping, but because we're in a city, we just like execute them. So we'll just end the battle here.
This is a heroic victory, worthy of Roman arms.
Yeah, so this is like the statistics that you get after the battle. I got 479 kills, nearly 500 kills, and I still have No, 1,271 men remaining out of 1,344. They got 72 kills in that. Now, once that you take a settlement, you can see its happiness, its loyalty is very happy. So we don't, and you get these 3 options after you take a settlement: to occupy, enslave, or exterminate. Exterminate is literally just like kill everybody in the city, and like you only have like a population of 300 left. Occupy is leave everybody in the city, but you don't get too much gold from looting. You get more gold from looting. This, I'd say, is like is the middle ground between these 2 options. And not only that, you don't actually kill any of the population. You spread them out across the rest of your empire. But because this city's happy, I don't need to do either of these things, so I'm just going to occupy the settlement. The first thing I'm going to do is build a wooden palisade, because the Greeks are like right down here, and they don't like me. And also, if some of your men take knocks, you can actually combine the troops. Here we see that some of these guys got experience from that battle because they were used a lot in it. So what you want to do is you want to keep your troops with experience topped up as much as you can, because these guys have 8 melee and 15 defense, when the original group only have 7 melee and 14 defense. You can see the stats change between the one with the unit of experience and the one without. And also I'm going to build roads so that we can train, or that we can trade between other settlements. And I'm going to send my spy up north to check out what's going on in this little town. Right, Salona is here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, who are you? You're the faction heir, and you're just a family member. Right, I'm going to take the faction heir, because as we can see here, oh, you're actually really good. Each individual general has their own stats, and the faction heir is the next in line to lead the faction. Where is the faction leader? This is the faction leader. He's 52. He's got okay stats. He's like, this guy's actually better than him. You've got 3 different stats. You've got command, which is how good you are on the field of battle. You've got management, which is how good you manage a city and how happy your city is, and you've got influence, which is what you use in like diplomacy situations, like if you want to negotiate contracts between other settlements or other factions. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Amulius Brutus, and I'm going to take the few units that I have here, and I'm going to start marching up north towards Salona.
Attack! No more moves.
Now, right, in 2 turns, he will be able to attack Salona, and they don't have a palisade. And now we completed the Senate mission that we were given, and we're actually given 5,000 denarii. I think that's just because it was the first mission. A lot of the time you just get like a bunch of peasants. And not only that, I'm actually going to start recruiting some more troops, so that when we move into Greece, we can take them with a decent competency. Actually, we can't train anything good right now, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just training Equites, which is light cavalry, and I'm going to build a military barracks which allows us to train Hastati. And over here in Apollonia, I'm actually just going to build a barracks which allows us to recruit town watch, because right now in Apollonia we can only recruit peasants, which have, they've got very poor stats, like 1 attack and 1 defense. And now with all that done, I'm actually going to end the turn there. And we get another Senate mission. The Senate asks you to take the settlement for glory of the Empire. So they're asking me to take Thurman. I think that is here. Yes, it's asked me to take a Greek city, so it wants me to go to war with the Greeks. I don't really want to go to war with the Greeks quite yet, because I don't have much of an army. And here we can see that we actually made a little bit of money this turn. And the wooden palisade has been built in Apollonia, so now you can see in the settlement there's a wall around it. So now, if the Greeks want to come up and attack me, they have to hold me under siege for a little while and build like a ram to get into the city, so it's not as easy for them. And actually, you know what? Because I've been asked to take Thurman, I'm going to send a spy and this army down towards Thurman. And Hoplites, my favourite unit in the game. I will show you what hoplites do in battle if we get to Thurman. Yeah, so these guys are actually going to take Thurman instead of going up north. And in Tarentum, our Equites were recruited. So yeah, these are the Equites. They're light cavalry, which means the spearmen absolutely melt them. And here in Apollonia, I'm actually going to build a shrine to Mercury because that will increase the tradable goods. And I believe in all settlements that are at the coast, you can build a port. So when we build a port and we have tradable goods, it will increase our trading like a huge amount. Like here, for example, this is a port for Tarentum, and you can see the trade routes that go between different factions. This one is grayed out because I don't actually have trade rights with the Greek city-states yet, and I probably won't, seeing as I'm just about to attack them. And this early on in the game, there's not really much I can do because everything has some queue for the buildings. I think, does it Apollonia? Yeah, Apollonia has a couple of things ready to be built. So I'm going to end this turn here. And here we see that at the end of that turn, the Greeks actually have some common sense, and they've put in a little army here. Yeah, they've put 2 armies here to block my path from getting to their city. So I'm actually going to have to fight these guys to get to Thurman. And as we see here, we made a small amount of money. And in Crotorn, paved roads were built, and in Apollonia, just roads were built. So now that increases our trading income for those 2 cities as well. And the second unit of Equites was trained in Tarentum as well. Right, so here we're going to have to attack Greece to get to Thurman, to get the Senate mission over and done with. So yeah, we're going to have to attack these 2 armies on the field, and this is going to be our first field battle of the series.
Victory!
Oh, and they backed off actually. And yes, war has been declared between the House of the Brutii and the Greek city-states. War has broken out with these people. They are now our enemies. Right, so now if I attack these guys, they'll probably back off as well. And because I actually split these 2 up, these guys won't be able to reinforce these guys. So what I did was actually quite smart.
Prepare for battle.
Maybe it wasn't because I don't have enough movement points to get to him. Shit. And here we have a Macedonian diplomat on his way over to us. We've got a diplomat over here.
Can I be of service?
I'm going to start moving him over here so we can make friends with Macedonia and Germania and Dacia and all the other factions. We just hate the Greeks for now. And militia barracks are still some ways away from being built here in Apollonia, so I'm not going to recruit peasants because they're just a waste of money. And with these 2 armies split up, I'm going to end the turn there. Oh, we've got quite a few faction announcements. Here is just the end of turn report, shows us how much money we made. We went from that to that, so you can work it out yourself. A coming of age. Oh, we have a new guy. We have a new guy to play as. We've got Cassius Brutus. You are shit. Right, Cassius Brutus, you're going to come over here. And we're going to train you. Well, we're not going to train you. We're going to put you into battle straight away.
General.
The agent, yeah, we can.
service?
The agent can head up there.
Your honor.
Yeah, you're going to head south as well, and you're going to join up with this army at some point, and we're going to put you in enough battles that you're actually going to get decent at commanding an army. But first things first, we go to battle with Captain Phalanus of Greece.
Attack! Victory!
Ah, they fled. Bollocks, because they were backed up against the sea, so it actually would have been a very good situation for us. But anyway, we'll go take on this other army of Captain Nicomedius.
Attack!
Ah, yes, because these guys are next to their city, all the troops that are in the city also come to reinforce them, but we still have the better strength ratio, because I don't think these guys... Yeah, all they have is Peltus and a group of militia hoplites and their family members. It's just a family member, it's just heavy cavalry. And in this army, it's literally just 1 unit of Peltas. So we should be able to take care of this fairly handy.
The portents are bad, my friends. But I do not care. I know that I have brave men at my back, and only the enemy in front of me. Over there stands the Greek army. They make a fine show, and are worthy enemies. They have been led here by strutting fools and blustering morons. Now they will pay the price. I have never yet lost a fight against these men. I have no intention of starting today. So together, we will gain another victory. So let your battle cry put fear into the enemy's guts. Call out to them and be brave. Call to the heavens and let strength and honor be your watchwords today.
Yeah, so as you saw in that speech, it was actually tailored to this particular general because he said that he'd never lost a battle against the Greeks. And he also mentioned that it was the Greeks' armies, which is something that I absolutely love about this game, that it points out like those little things in the pre-battle speeches. Right, so this is the battle map. It's not a nice battle map for us, because they're going to have a huge uphill advantage. Because when you're up a hill, when you're using missile units, they can actually throw further because they're throwing downhill. They just have to throw it at less of an angle to get it as far. So uphill advantage is actually huge in this game, especially when you have a lot of missile units like they have in their army. So we're going to have to find a way to rotate them off the high ground. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set up my units over here. Right, so this is the formation that I'm going to start out with. We've got the mercenary hoplites in the front. They've got their spears down because they're in a phalanx, so if any cavalry run into them, they're just going to get melted. We've got our histati on the flanks of the hoplites because they've got shields, so they'll be able to stop as much missiles coming in as possible, and they'll be decent enough to hold. We're going to have our velitas and peltasts in the center so they can lob spears and shit over the top, and we're going to have our cavalry right round the side, so if they try to come in the middle, we're going to be able to wrap around and flank them. So we start up the battle and we get to see how they're after setting up. They're after setting up right on the top of the hill, which is what I guessed they would do. Yeah, right on the top of the hill. So if I try to march up to them, unless I have cavalry that can run up to them before they can get much off, my units are going to get absolutely destroyed. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to march up the side of the hill, get onto a slightly higher elevation than them, and then march up to them. Unfortunately, their backup from the city is coming in on this side. They are actually... No, I won't be able to get up to the top of this hill by the time they get in balls. What we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to slowly make our way up. So we get the entire army, we group them together so they stay in that formation, and we try and march them up this hill. I'll try to get them up here because this looks like a nice little vantage point. Right, so now as we can see, I'm after moving our army up here so that their missile are going to be on the high ground and our hoplites are going to be facing their main force, even though this is really the main force. So yeah, I'm going to fast forward this because I think yeah, this will take a long time because they're just walking. Now the Greek cities are actually, yeah, they're changing their formation. I think they're lining up on the hill, so that's going to make it a pain in the hole for me to try break. Because a thing about ancient warfare is the attacking team or the attacking faction are the team who have to actually initiate, and there's no time limits. So yeah, this will not go well for me. Okay, I'm gonna see how they line up and see if I can counter it in any way, shape or form. What are these going off on their own? They are peltas. If I can get the light cavalry after these guys. Yeah, the light cavalry are going to sprint up to these guys and hopefully they'll be able to break them or something. So light cavalry you should send after light infantry. You should send heavy infantry or heavy cavalry after light cavalry. And yeah, everything, it's like rock, paper, scissors but a lot more complicated. Yeah, so these guys are going to, yeah, because they've got a huge charge bonus, they absolutely decimated their peltas here. But also these peltas are lining up to throw at the equites. So what we're going to try to do is I'm going to get the general in here as well. Yeah, so these guys are going to be able to mop these guys up fairly easily. And the general is moving up as well. And he's going to take on these guys. Oh, we might be able to sandwich them. Ah, yes, these guys are rooting, so now would be a good time to chase. So what we did there was we isolated the weakest part of the enemy and took them down, so that completely weakens the rest of the army. Now these equites are going to mop these guys up, and yeah, the general's bodyguard has been able to make this unit of peltas. Is it peltas? Yeah, this unit of peltas is broken as well. So if you could just run that way a bit, and then like attack and try to mop them up as best you can. And now we see these peltas are also moving up, and these peltas. Yeah, all the they're sending all their peltas forward to deal with my cavalry, which is not a good idea. Because obviously what we're going to do is we're going to get our cavalry to charge straight into it. Yeah, this unit of peltas is now broken, and if I get the general's bodyguard to turn and go in here and try to wipe out this unit of peltas. So isolate and wipe is, or isolate and destroy the weakest link. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Now what we want to do is keep our general's bodyguard and all our cavalry as far away from these hoplites as we physically can, because these guys are specially designed against cavalry. This is their general's bodyguard. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to get the everybody out of there right now, because they're trying to pin us in place. I can tell that. So we're going to run after these peltas a little bit more, and then when we've got them down, we're going to turn around and try these guys again. Actually, no, they've got peltas moving up on their own again. Jesus Christ, they're not being that smart. Ah yes, the peltas are retreating and they're trying to flank us, so turn into them. Now we're after enveloping them, so they're being taken on from all sides. They're steady. Ah, now they're shaken. They're glad to have the general in the unit, but still they're not going to do too well in that situation. We're not going to do too well if we stay there for much longer, because they're moving their hoplites in to take on our cavalry. So we're actually going to get our cavalry out of there, because they're after taking quite a few knocks, and we're going to move the rest of the army forward. And maybe you could turn around and just like try to charge down, yeah, the enemy's bodyguard. If the enemy's bodyguard breaks, it has a debuff to all of these guys. It nerfs them. There's the general body's going down, and now they're broken, and now if we run away and run back behind our infantry, we'll be able to lure these guys into the trap that is our mercenary hoplites. Actually, you know what, screw it, just like go for the peltas, because they're not that strong at all. Yes, they're running back to try to lure us into their hoplites. So what I'm going to get my bodyguard to do, and the equites, is to run, if you will, behind here, and we're going to try to lure them into our front line. Or even what we can do is, because we're the attackers, I think we have to initiate. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try make our front line as long and wide as possible and try to envelop them. Right, so yes, now our front line is moving forward, and it's going to set up in a big long front line in front of these guys, and we're going to move straight forward and completely envelop them. So I'm going to get these 3 units to move forward and try to take them out, and then these side units in to try to take them from the side. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the equites around the side as well. Yes, now they are starting to throw in spears to try to deter us from moving forward. But we're going to keep moving forward. Right, now these peltas have moved on behind. Oh no, run away. Those hoplites are going to absolutely, no, you can see all my horses dying there because they touch, like, if you, yeah, they're after breaking. If horses touch the tip of these spears, they're going to get melted. That's why I kept my general's bodyguard away from this attack. Right, so I'm going to get the general's bodyguard to actually move over in this direction to see if I can sweep these guys from behind, because these guys, yes, now they're pinned down. General's bodyguard can chase after them because they're much faster.
Only frightened rabbits running from our men.
Now, yeah, a lot of these are broken. You chase after these as well. Everybody just give chase. Everybody just give chase. And you stay after what's broken. Because these guys are broken, they don't have their spears down, so they won't actually do too much damage to the general's bodyguard. The Equites are taking on these guys. That is the hoplites all gone, so the general's bodyguard can go after the peltas now. The Equites are still trying to wipe up the peltas that have already broken. Yous can head in towards the peltas as well. Yeah, everybody just go up and try to wipe them off the face of the field. Sometimes the AI gets a bit confused when they're trying to wipe people when they get a bit spread out, or like when there's so few of them that they can't actually stab them. So you have to direct them around manually, because there's literally 2 people left in this group. There's the end of the battle, so everybody's rooting. So we're going to keep trying to wipe these, and the Equites can move in as well. And we're going to speed up this battle because it's done. Yeah, that should wipe everybody off the face of the field, and that means, oh, 2 generals died. Yeah, so they got 28 and 47 kills between their 2 armies, and they have 38 men remaining, because they are the guys who rooted before we could actually do anything. We got 970 kills. That is a lot. We might actually have taken Thurman because we eradicated their force in the city. No, we didn't take Thurman, but it is completely empty now. So if we go here, yeah, we just occupy it immediately. And in this city, we can actually retrain some of our troops because it's got a militia barracks in it. Oh, has it? Hold on, I can check in. It's got a practice range, so we're able to train velites. I'm going to build another shrine to Mars in this settlement so that I can upgrade it to a temple, and then everybody that I like churn out of here to try take over Greece, so that everybody has extra experience, so that we'll be better in battle against Greece when we try to take them over. And what we're going to do with our diplomat is we're going to head over to Macedonia if we can. Yeah, he's going to head over in that direction, and we're going to try and make trade rights and an alliance with them so that we can, because Macedonia want to take out the Greeks as well. So if we can ally with Macedonia, we'll be able to take out the Greeks like twice as easily. But then we'll have to take out the Macedonians as well, because they're going to want all of Greece. And because I went to war, all of the other Roman factions went to war with Greece as well. So the House of the Scipii, the House of the Julii, and the SPQ, or what is that? I cannot think of what that stands for. I'll probably like edit that in. And Amulius Brutus has become a good commander, +2 to command. So now if we look at him, he's gotten even better at the command stat. On a battlefield, this man inspires confidence in his soldiers. Sometimes the facade cracks, but not often. So he's even better commanding his troops, and they're less likely to break. He's less likely to break, and I think his general's bodyguard has a slightly better stat boost. And our Senate mission is complete. Your reward unit is located in the capital, Scorpions. Oh, we were given Scorpions. They are... yeah, so Scorpions are... they're like mini ballistas. I think, yeah, missiles can impale several men, very long range missiles. Can use flaming missiles, can't hide, ineffective against walls and buildings. So these can't be used to break down walls, but like things like ballistas and onagers and trebuchets and stuff like that can be used to take down walls. But these are like, if you're in a defensive position, you stick these in the corner of the map and just like rain fire down upon everybody that comes your way. And now that we've taken Thurman and we've gotten those Scorpions off the Senate, I think I'm going to call that a part. So I'll see you guys in the next video.